Hi, everyone. This is Shelley Darling. I'm here with Don Pett, and we're here to open the way for Love Lives Here. As you can see behind me, 40 days of reconnection with self, with each other, with the earth, and with the sacred within all life. And Don is a director of an organization, a nonprofit, and he's going to share with us just a little bit about how love is living here in his life. So Don, welcome.
Well, it's so glad to be here. I love what you're doing.
So tell us a little bit. I know you're called the Wisdom Doctor, and you are offering this educational community free forever, free for the heart, people to come and really tap into how love lives here within them. And how do you do that? What's your voice around that?
Shelley, there are four skills that I think we need to survive and thrive at this point in our life. And those skills can, under the acronym of HELP: happiness, enough, love, and peace. And the key of this is to love ourselves with the abundance that overflows to enrich the world. I believe that's the new version of the Golden Rule. And Einstein told us that we can save ourselves and the world from the predictable use of our new weapons, but we have to teach ourselves to love ourselves with the abundance that overflows. We have to teach ourselves those help skills. So there are some secret skills that we offer in our nonprofit program that are so easy to learn. I've had someone, a professional speaker and actor, record them. And those are the two skills we offer. We have a case study, and that's what we have to share. If people can practice them at home, it takes 5 or 10 minutes, and they're just wonderful. People love them.
Fantastic. And so we're going to be featuring some of those skills each day in the Love Lives Here Daily Digest. So when people come and they sign in each day, very simply, they're going to get a daily digest, and we'll be featuring every day a different one of those skills and a little bit more of how they can really breathe into and really be that loving source that they are, and really feel that sense of support and connection. Anything more you want to say about it?
The first skill is to love ourselves with the abundance that overflows. Emotional self-endorsement. You know, when we're born, we're dependent on other people for what we learn about love. And if we don't have loving parents, and many people say they often don't have such loving parents, we're subject to what other people teach us. But as we grow up, we have the ability, we are creators. So we have the ability to look in the mirror and face ourselves and say, when we look in the mirror, I love myself. I am such a hot sketch. And how many times do people do that? What do you usually say when you look in the mirror? Most people, you know what they do. They say, oh, golly, there's too much of this in me, and why did I do that? And there's a wrinkle here, and so on. But what about instead emotionally endorsing ourselves? We all know how to emotionally endorse others. Don't we know how to get a dog to wag its tail and shake its behind? You know how to talk to a baby and get that baby. You don't say, smile, baby. You say it with emotion, don't you? And what do you do when you go to an athletic event? You stomp and you cheer. You go to a beautiful dancer, singer, or something, and you yell and you shout. How often do you do that to yourself, to love yourself? Not very often, right? And don't we often, instead we teach ourselves, unfortunately, that if you love yourself emotionally, you're egotistical and self-centered. Our society teaches us to do just the opposite. So we're very critical of ourselves. When I tell people in my private practice psychiatry, I used to tell them to love yourself, they would say, oh, it's hard to do that. I'd be egotistical and self-centered and so on, all these negative things. So just the opposite of what we need to do. So that's one of the most critical love creation skills, and it's a secret skill. So easy to make it blossom like a flower. The other skill is what I call the reasonable best measure of self-worth. You know, we're taught to love we're taught to judge our worth by the outcome of what we do. Did I get a high grade? Do they love me? Am I attractive? Did they applaud? Are my kids doing well in school? These are all outcome measures that we don't have much control over. But there is one thing we have regular control over, we can do our reasonable best. And when we do our reasonable best, we deserve to go back to that first skill and emotionally pat ourselves on the back, to look in the mirror and with enthusiasm. We don't have to yell and shout and stomp our feet as we do with others, because we're right here. We can do it in our mind. We can do it mentally. So we have these two wonderful skills, and they're available in recordings. They're free. They're public domain. People can use them. If you want these skills, you can give them away. They can give them away. Whatever people are doing.
Great. So we're just inviting people to really feel this hot sketch that they are. Come and go to Love Lives Here today. Register. You'll get Dawn's daily digest of little tips. And yeah, so thank you so much.
One of the great things, Shelley, I just want to mention, if you love yourself with the abundance that overflows to others, isn't one of the most satisfying that we can do when we do something meaningful to help other people? So the wonderful thing is, when you really learn to love yourself with the abundance that you have extra give away, then you have that ability to do something very meaningful for the people you love in your life. So that's the wonderful thing about this.
And that's really beautiful, because then we stay filled, and then we keep giving our overflow. So we stay in balance with ourselves, and that's really beautiful. So thank you so much. So nice to see you, Dawn, this morning.
It's a pleasure. Always a pleasure, Shelley, with you. And then keep up your wonderful work. Your program is, I follow regularly. So it's been really my pleasure. You've done a brilliant job.
All right. Thank you, Dawn. We'll see you there. Love Lives Here today.